Alive again.
Put Cohen in the books. Put the Mets in the books. Put the Yankees in a goddamn body bag and bury them 6 feet deep. I told you guys. I told you when this series was going to play out and whatever happened in this series would impact us. Cohen as the team, back-to-back wins over the Yanks on a fucking Little League doubleheader. We did it, baby.
Instant delivery. Paying instant dividends. The day, the minute that it's even possible, we sweep the fucking Yankees. I mean, things are looking up. We practically own the town already, okay? New York City, it's ours now. Your time is over. Yankee fans, Hubs, Tom Scabelli, I have an idea. You should go kill yourselves because it's over for you, and you're never going to – you guys can't even comprehend what's coming. You got nothing but a bunch of injury-prone bums with an ownership group that is nothing more than the shell of their father. Just like the dead corpse of George Steinbrenner. You guys have no clue how bad it's going to get once Steve Cohen runs this town. Tonight was just a little taste. Just a little taste of what's about to happen for the next, 3 decades. Fuck you guys.
And did they just lose a doubleheader to the Braves?
They've lost left and fucking right. Yankees stink.
Yeah. Ready for this? Emergent breaking news. Frank the Tank, how sweep it is. Frank the Tank has gone positive.
Whoa.
He's become we have him on the light side. He's a Jedi again. It's like Darth Vader. He's flipped back to the light side. We got him.
He threw the Emperor down the well. He picked up the Emperor and threw him down the well.
This makes me feel like people like me and Tank and a lot of the pessimistic ones. Who's that guy in Lord of the Rings who's under the spell for like 20 years? And then Gandalf, he's like old and decrepit. And then Gandalf comes and he like hits him with the staff and he like blows away and he becomes a young guy again. That's us. That's me. That's Tank. Who knows? Maybe Frank is going to grow teeth in his head. Maybe he'll have teeth that don't fall out of his head anymore.
Uncle Stevie can buy him a whole new set.
I mean,
Ivory, Tusk.
Steve Cohen is going to buy ivory teeth for Fred Fleming.
Oh my God!
Yo, if Frank was up with 2 Tusks still, what a fucking power move! What a power move! I wouldn't put him imagine.
Could you imagine if like in a couple of years Frank Fleming is like he's got a full head of hair and he's shredded and he's healthy and happy and everything's turned around?
I need a revised wins list from him. Remember he did like the last didn't he say they were not going to win a game? They're going to go 0 162 for a couple years. I think
next year was supposed to be 13 wins total on the season. So we'll see what he can come up with quickly. But start spreading the news. You hate to see it, Yankee fans. You really do.
All right. Want to say the important stuff? All right. I was thinking about a free agent that's going to be out there down the road. Do we sign Aaron Judge? Do we even bother with that fucking guy? The guy's always hurt. I don't want to
at a discount, maybe. At a discount.
Here's our DH in 2029 or where the fuck.
No. I mean, I'll sign Aaron Judge right now to be like our bench coach because that's where he always is. That guy knows the bench better than anybody. You can manage this bench like a fucking Hall of Famer right now, Aaron. That guy, I can't even say he stinks. He's just, does he even exist? He's Jed Lowry. He's an expensive Jed Lowry. That's all he fucking is. Give me a break.
Wow.
Aaron Judge. And don't get me started on
Yankees.
Yankee fans could give me
I took the bait.
I think, let's see. Hang on. Free agent class MLB. Let's do 2022 to be reasonable about it. Nolan Arenado. Sounds good to me. Come on down. If there's no way that these teams let some of these guys even hit free agency, but if I'm a player and I know that a guy like Steve Cohen is joining the mix and we know that he wants to make a splash, I'm not giving anybody discounts. I'm not signing anything ahead of time. I'm seeing exactly what's out there. So Nolan, just think about it, bud. Come on down. Let's see who else.
Well, I'll tell you right
JD
now,
Martinez.
next year's free agent class, it's not a lot of shit. But I'm telling you, Trevor Bauer and Steve Cohen were made for each other. Made for each other.
Yeah.
Big Trevor. We're getting out of Big Trevor right now. The craziest motherfucker on the planet. He might work for Barstool for free just for fun because he's a crazy motherfucker. And he'll pitch every 5 days in Queens. And he'll just show up to the office the other 4 days. That's the kind of guy we're
I love Bauer. Bauer building his brand too. He's got his vlog going. I mean, he fit right in. Man. Yeah, have that podcast going. He could be if he'll come to the Mets and Barstool.
There's nobody.
We got the Rocket leading off. We got Bauer braiding on the lawn, and then we got Bauer. Oh my god.
Perfect. That's what I'm saying. There's nobody in New York right now that is more excited for this than Jacob deGrom. He's like, you're telling me that there's actually going to be other baseball players on the team with me when I pitch?
How about this? What do you think Noah Syndergaard does now? I thought he was gone. I thought he had his bags packed as soon as he's a free agent. See you later. But now,
does he have one? He doesn't have one more year left.
No, he does. But I'm just saying, like long-term future.
Oh yeah. I thought he'd be out.
Because like the things he used to complain to me back when we used to like talk, it was about how like Mickey Mouse of a club this was, and how everything sucked, and how they were a poorly run organization. Yeah. Well, that's all.
We get a healthy Noah, hopefully coming off surgery, but in a contract year, because next year would be his last, right? In a contract year when he can get paid.
It's not just a contract.
Cy Young. Can we Cy Youngs next year? It'll be like DeGrom's 4th in a row, but like he'll share it with Syndergaard.
Listen, Cohen's going to change everything, and especially, I just feel like when you tell people that Citi Field is going to be suspended in the air from helicopters because that's what you're going to pick it up, and you can play in a floating stadium, just like all cool things like that. It's like, yeah, you're going to get rich and you'll win World Series, but also have you ever played baseball in the sky? Because that's what we do around here.
Do you think Jacob deGrom cried tonight when he told his wife that Steve got the team? Like, I feel like I would cry if I was Jacob deGrom. Like, I'm actually going to be happy again, honey, at work.
You know why he cries? Because every night he goes home and his wife goes, "What the fuck were you thinking signing for $137 million, you idiot? You could have easily signed for $240, you fucking moron." So he probably gets beat by his girl every night, and that's why he cries. And now he's like, "Honey, don't worry, I might get a raise. Maybe they'll renegotiate." What an idiot. I mean, that is really, as much as I hate Brody, we don't talk about that enough. Like, it's it might arguably be the greatest contract of all time when it's all said and done. You get multiple Cy Young. I mean, realistically, he'll probably win one more, if not multiple more, and you get like 3 or 4 Cy Youngs for.
What's going to happen what's going to happen if Steve goes out and just buys like a great bullpen? DeGrom's going to win like 25 games a year. Like, he's won the Cy Young without wins, and I know the wins don't matter, but it's like when you have 30 wins,
32 no decisions in games that he gave up 1 or 0 runs. 32. He has 68 total no decisions. 32 of them come with 1 or 0 runs allowed.
Shout out Mix and Purple. We're gonna buy Seattle and get back Kalenic. Whole city, not like the Mariners. We're gonna buy
I would love that.
Seattle.
Okay, let me petition this to Steve Cohen. You buy the Mariners, but you make them Mets West, and then like we don't have to travel and do West Coast games because like we just have like the West Coast team out there and they just play, and then these guys stay on the East Coast, and there can be like Bizarro, Clem, and KFC and Kyle out there, so they can do the late games. Like we just have a whole operation on the West Coast that Steve Cohen funds, so that we don't have to stay out. And like an extra innings crew, there's a whole other crew that you pay. I love Barstool, but I just want to go work for Steve Cohen. Like he can break me off some crumbs and give me some money, and I'll just work for Steve.
You basically pitched the last 5 minutes of that last episode. You're basically just begging Steve to buy us, I think, from Dave. I don't know what that was, but it was, I think, an actual sales pitch. I think Dave would be fine with it if Steve opens the checkbook, but nonetheless, I'm in. That we're going to call the West Mets podcast You Gotta Believe. Like, we are all together on the East Coast. Once 10 o'clock hits, you guys got to believe until 3 a.m. or wherever the fuck.
You got to carry it.
I don't care. I'm 100% with you. I want to buy Seattle. This is the way Steve Cohen gets around the salary cap. He just signs all them, and then say we get a dud like a Jason Bay. Well, he got traded to the Mariners for player to be named later. The Mariners are now Mets West. Steve, make it happen. Buy 2 teams.
I think maybe he just relocates. Like Akon is building Akon City in Africa with the A-Coin. Like, what if it's not the New York Mets? What if he just calls them like the New York Cohens and he moves somewhere? It's like in the middle of the Long Island Sound and like a floating island, and it's not even the Mets. Maybe we're not
It's
even
in international waters. You can like launder money through it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what those guys do. They build those islands that have no rules, no laws, and it has like solar energy and shit. So it's all. I think that the best way. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want to be a Mets fan anymore. I want to get rid of that stank. Think about it. When you I'm sure when Steve buys other businesses, he just you get a name change, you get a rebrand, they get a new headquarters, they do everything differently. Take it and go. Put it in Connecticut. I don't care. You could be the Greenwich Cohens, and that's my team now.
He's going to have a moving island that can go out to international waters when they're on the road, and it'll just drive down Long Island Sound, so it's still in the same area as Flushing.
I mean,
we're all just maybe.
I mean, I've been receiving billions. Is this in play? Tell me, because I think Bobby Axelrod is the baddest motherfucker who would do something like this. I've never seen the show. Tell me, is this possible? Because I'm buying everything you guys are selling right now.
To borrow a phrase from my buddy Kevin Garnett, anything's possible. I mean, anything can happen with this guy and this amount of money. And listen, with this team that's already got a decent base because, good enough to beat the fuck out of the Yankees all day today. So you take some of these good pieces, you pay Conforto, you pay Alonso, you renegotiate for DeGrom and give him a bonus and a raise. You sign
DeGrom will just take a bullpen. I bet DeGrom doesn't want a single cent more. He's just get me a bullpen.
Give me a bullpen. Sign J.D. Davis and J.D. Martinez, and we'll just have the best J.D.s in all of baseball, J.D. squared, because why not? You know what? Dom Smith, Steve Cohen needs to petition the league to have. There's two first base now. There's first base. There's 1.5 base, second base, third base. You can have Dom Smith and Pete Alonso out there. He's gonna reinvent the entire game as we know it to make everything fit for us and for this team, because that's what he does. He doesn't lose. So what's the rest of the schedule? We have another doubleheader tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's just one. Tomorrow's 105, and then I think Sunday's a doubleheader.
Right, because I know it's 5 games in 3 days or whatever. So all right. So we
and by the way, we hit a walk-off tonight, and it was Rosario of all people. There's no way that happens if he doesn't buy the team before that.
It's coming up roses, baby. I mean, that was almost the 5 days in Flushing, where we were getting news and we had guys crying in the dugout. It was probably the opposite. Rose probably went up there. Rosario was like, yo, Steve Cohen bought the team. I'm up there loose as a goose. Let's go. Let's go home. Ah, God.
Some holiday road vibes. I'm not going to lie.
This is how you know it's a moment in Mets history. We've talked about this entire game. We've talked about this entire episode. This third part of the podcast, whatever it is right now. I don't even know. It's so fucking. There's so many pirates. Kevin Clancy, the Mets just swept the Yankees in a doubleheader, and it was the 7th thing you thought of tonight. It is so far. It's buried in the newspaper as a footnote. That's how you know things have changed. You're no longer a second-rate citizen in this town. You're a first-rate citizen. You are going to be king of this town. Come on, baby.
I mean, it really is. It's any other time I would be, beating the Yankees is our little pitiful World Series. And I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, the Yankee. Oh, you're not even on my radar, fellas. You guys are just you're nothing special anymore. It's one thing and one thing only that matters in this town now. And we are now on the road to happiness, to heaven, to God.
I'm in.
My heart.
Did we sell our real estate in Consolina?
Oh, wait a minute, fellas. I mean, the vacation's over. We got to come home.
We gotta come home.
Pack up our bags. fill up the tank with gas. We're coming home from Consolina. I'm selling my timeshare. I'm selling my timeshare in Consolina, and I really mean this. I mean, I don't think I'll console for the next 5 years at least.
So wait, this is an official unconsole for this year?
No, you can't do that. The console is I'm just saying that the console is usually like, there's different types of consoles. If you lose in the playoffs, it's like your console, the season's over. But I will not declare any seasons. There will never be like a fuck this, we have no hope. There's always hope. There won't be the full hopeless console for a long time to come. Because there is always a chance and always a possibility. And yeah, a good team loses, that's going to happen. But we'll know, like, it won't be like, well, our window's closed. Our window will always be open. And even when we lose, our window will reopen further somehow because that's what Steve does. Consolina has been great. Consolina has been, my favorite vacation spot for many years now. And,
5 stars on Yelp, on TripAdvisor. I've seen all your reviews. Love the place. You love it. It's a different spot.
It's almost like, Hurricane Cohen came through and just eradicated Consolina. I taped up the windows and I tried to salvage it and save it, but there's palm trees everywhere. There's flooding in the streets. My house was on one of those, it was a stilt. All the stilts fell down and now I'm drowning and Consolina's dead. It's gone. It's washed away forever. We're coming home, baby.
So you guys said that they potentially think that this could be done in days. Like, could Steve Cohen be in charge of this team this season?
I don't think so. I feel like the financial shit can be done this year, okay. But I would imagine there's probably just rules in place about like baseball power or baseball decision making, or maybe though, I don't know. I mean, I also as a Mario where these guys do things like out of courtesy, the way that he was going to extend 5 years, maybe, nothing like that. But maybe these guys do say like, the team's mine now. I own it. You can, hang out through January 1st or whatever. But we know there's like bad blood. Whatever like Steve can do, he will do because he doesn't even like these guys. So who knows? Maybe he does take over like right away, effective immediately.
I feel like based on like the way the language was with all the tweets, like he has the exclusive rights. He's in. And I mean, again, he's a Mets fan. He's one of us. He's probably like, I want this team, and I want to know that I have control of this team as of August 28th at 11 o'clock at night. So we cannot do anything with all the young prospects. I want to keep whatever I have like in-house. And I'm you can't let him do it.
Yeah, I would imagine he can say something to the effect of like, there's a freeze on any trades, moves, decisions.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think he'll be like, deciding lineups or anything crazy. I really want to know, like, does Steve Cohen like know baseball? There's so little to know about him, but like, I imagine if like the next quote from Steve Cohen's like, I really don't like the universal DH because I'm a baseball purist and I think everybody should play the field. Like, we don't know. He might just think of this as an investment. You might just think of it as like, I'm from New York, so that's why I own the Mets. I want to own but he did want to buy the Dodgers.
I know that his wife is a huge fan and his father-in-law is a huge fan.
Okay.
He grew up on Long Island or in the area where like he came up with the Mets. Like I guess when they were.
So it's got to be like in his blood a little bit, but will be interesting to see if he's, is he in it for the love of the game? Is he in it for the love of the money? Is he in it for the power? Is he in it for the bragging rights? All of the above. I don't care what reason it is, but it kind of decides whether you're going to be like a Steinbrenner or whether you're going to be, worried about the luxury tax or whatever. He's by no means going to be cheap, but we'll see whether it's like, man, I just always wanted to watch like a third baseman like whip it across the diamond, and so we're going to go get all Arenado or some shit. Like, the world is his oyster, man.
Kevin, to quote a great poet of our time, he's here and he's perfect. KK. Dude, he's perfect. He's beautiful. He's like all of us. He's the guy who loved Reyes running the third. Jose like an asshole. He's the guy who cried when David Wright retired too early. He lived and died in 2015. He's one of us, but he lived through 86 and he remembers what 86 is like, and it's going back to 86. That's another shit. We're bringing back to 86. It feels like 1986 right now.
You know, we need to do like somebody make a little Back to the Future meme sort of thing. Like, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. And he flies to fucking 1986. You know what I think you should do? I think you should put Jeff Wilpon in formaldehyde. I think that should be his next and his final piece of his art. It's the shark with the formaldehyde combined with the pointing man, and it's Jeff just in the tank, like. Or maybe he keeps Jeff alive and he just puts him in a tank.
Gives the carbonite, like Han Solo.
Oh yeah, exactly. And like we'll unfreeze you, and you know, when we win in a couple years, you get to see it, and then I'll kill you. Then I'll throw you in formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Steve Cohen definitely is like Jabba the Hutt. He definitely has like a crew of people where they just like laugh at shit. Like he has like fucking aliens just bopping around his house. Like that's Steve Cohen's house. And he's going to have Jeff Wilpon and Carbonate. Anything less than Jeff Wilpon and Carbonate, Steve, if you're listening, anything less than Jeff Wilpon and Carbonate is a loss in my opinion. We need this to happen.
Imagine if Steve Cohen was just a fucking We Gotta Believe fan. He was just like, yeah, I want to. I did listen. I was listening to your third post-game stream of the night. You know, I agree with you boys. Oh God.
I want the first giveaway to just be like a gold brick to everybody in the stadium.
Do you think Citi Field will change at all? I wonder, like, I know that deal was like a 20-year deal at like minimum or something, but you know, like here, you can have your money back.
All the shit we've been asking. What? The Seaver statue is already like going to happen, or I don't even know if it had. No, it didn't happen because the season's all fucked up. But like all the shit we were asking for, he will just do, probably with like a snap of a finger. You know what I mean? It's just going to get better. Everything's going to be fucking high society. High society.
Here's a good point. This guy, Schmied Alonso, said 100% buying season tickets. You think? I mean, I haven't considered that in a long, long time. I bought like those 10-game packs every now and then.
Oh, I bet you're skyrocketing, and I mean, yeah, maybe I should do that just because I just don't go to that many games, but it's just gonna be a good investment period this year.
Barstool, the ballpark's going to be booming. Just so you guys know, it is a party every single time. We need to see if Coors Light can like make champagne bottles, and I just want to douse champagne bottles on each other for the entire fucking like that. We deserve that kind of celebration at the first Barstool of the ballpark.
I am literally looking up my Mets contact right now. We'll get a 4-pack for 4 of us.
Cohen's Corner. I mean that we're putting claim to it. If he wants it, he can have it, obviously. But we are putting claim to Cohen's Corner. It was the Mets Fans Anonymous spot. We're going to tell our kids when we go to Cohen's Corner. This is the spot we used to cry on each other's shoulders as we drank Coors Light, just crying about all the misery the Mets put us through.
Yeah, how about Cohen and Coors Corner? It'd be like a joint effort. Working in the sponsor there. Shout out Coors.
All right. I mean, I got some business to take care of here because I got to go buy tickets.
We got to buy tickets. We got to get shirts. We got to do everything. It's a work night tonight. We need to make this shit happen. This is our World Series for now. I don't care about the Yankees. Listen, this is the best thing that's ever happened to us. We always say, oh, you know, we don't care. The Yankees don't care about us. I don't care about the Yankees. This is bigger than the Yankees. 1 billion times bigger than the – no.
How weird is it?
2 billion times. 13 billion times bigger than the Yankees right here.
How weird is it going to be if, like, 2020 is the best year of our life?
Yes.
I mean, like, 2020 was amazing.
I mean, I do argue that. Like, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. It is definitely, you know, I felt bad being on a stream proclaiming this the best night of my life while everyone else is mourning, and I do feel like I will now remember 2020 as one of the best years of my life. Like, I'm gonna put my grandkids on my knee one day, and they're gonna be like, "Pop, tell us the time of the best time you ever had, the best time of your life." Like, the year was 2020, and the world was ravaged by death and strife.
That would be the story. Like, if someone asks you 20 years from now, you're like, Can you tell us about 2020? And you'll be like, when Steve Cohen bought the Mets, and they were like, no, the global pandemic. Oh, right. Was that 2020? Was that same year? Oh, weird coincidence.
I feel like the Yankees dynasty was probably born in 1920, right? When there was like a fucking pandemic in itself, right?
There was probably some Yankee fan during the Spanish flu who was like, well, tell me about that year. It's like, well, Babe Ruth hit 60 home runs, son. And his wife's like, that was the year 18 million people died, honey, you fucking moron. That'll be us. And I'll get to do these things because, like I said, raising my kids as Mets fans. I'm so excited. The next generation, they deserve better, and they got it. And it's all because of this billionaire Jewish monster of a man.
This is legit better than the 2020 COVID championship.
That I can go to synagogue and go to temple with Steve and celebrate all these things with him because, I owe him everything. Shalom, mazel tov, motherfucker.
But this is legitimately better than the World Series, than the 2020 COVID championship. Like this is more real. It's longer lasting.
Are the big winners of 2020. I don't care what happens. People could break records. People could. New York Mets already. You know what? Like we always joke about the Knicks. Like put up a banner, fly a flag right now. Like this is a championship for the Mets. I mean, I legit broke out the fucking World Series sweater because I was like, this is definitely the best thing that's ever happened in the Mets for me in my life. Right? I mean, Pete Alonso breaking that record was a nice individual achievement, and we got there, but
it's like this and the Andy Chavez sketch. Right behind it.
You know what I think he should do? Steve Cohen should be his next piece of art. Like imagine that in formaldehyde, at the wall. God.
But it's actually Andy.
I just want Andy's family. I want everything in formaldehyde. That's really that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Mr. Met in it. You could do Mr. Met in the formaldehyde T-shirt. Done. We're gonna be able to buy our own free agents by the time we're done printing them.
You gotta do Mr. Met as a work of art. Oh man, this is so awesome.
Listen, I think there's a case to be made. 2020 could be the best year of all our lives, right? But we've all gone through a lot of shit. We're older, blah, blah, blah. This is the best year of our kids' lives. This year will be the best year of our kids' lives. If you miss kindergarten, you miss nursery school, daycare, whatever the fuck it is, all the shit your dad's yelling at you because you're always tired. This is the best year of their lives, and they don't even know it, and I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for our children. I'm so happy for them, and I'm so happy for all of us, everyone listening, watching the stream. I'm just so happy for you guys. I'm so happy for all of us.
And like I said, we wrapped up the last one saying, you got to believe, and it's not even going to make sense anymore. It's like nobody in the Yankees organization is like, you have to hold out hope. You have to believe. It's like, yeah, we know. We believe it.
But think about the Patriots. The Patriots were a joke for a long, long time. And now they're home to the cockiest, most arrogant, most annoying fans. And that's going to be us. We'll get to be annoying. That's amazing.
That's Twitter.
That's been a constant thing. Has been I'm going to be. Nick's Twitter has been I'm going to be such an asshole whenever this team's good, and I appreciate the sentiment because I'm with them. But Mets Twitter, we are now we have a path to get there now, and we are embracing it with both arms right now. It sounds like, which I love.
Oh man,
sweet dreams, sweet dreams. I'm not even going to open up Pornhub tonight. I'm just going to look at Sharks. It's just gonna be that. I might go watch Billions. I might just fire up season 3 of Billions and catch up because Bobby Axelrod is now in my life. I might just call.
I'm gonna retweet the Cohen highlight.
What?
I'm gonna retweet the Cohen highlight film where it's Rich with the background. It's going out.
Oh. That's my favorite. I was looking for that earlier. I'm gonna retweet it. It's going in the blog. I still have to blog this shit, but all we did was walk off the Yankees, that other team in New York. I don't give a shit. Who cares? It's fraudulent anyway because Uncle Stevie is coming.
coming everywhere.
I believe he is our salvation. It's like, you know, you believe your whole life and you don't really know for sure until you're dead and you go to the gates and you're like, it was worth it. That was us. We lived horrible. We suffered. We donated. We spent, you know, we donated money every day in the collection basket. We repented. We prayed. We gave all our Hail Marys and Our Fathers. We sacrificed. We confessed. And he is our salvation. He's worth it. We went through the valley of the shadow of death, and we came out on the other end at the pearly gates. And you know what? I think Cohen's probably got like his right-hand man. And maybe some of you motherfuckers don't get in. You know who doesn't get in? The optimistic Mets fans. The Mets fans who like did believe all this time, the idiots. It's like, no, you don't get this because you didn't suffer enough like the rest of us because you thought everything was good. You were like, oh yeah, we're fine. I want the people who suffered to get the first wave in, open up the gates to those guys. Our salvation is here. He has arrived. And now it's time to write the gospel according to Stevie. Oh, and fuck
buy those tickets. Buy those tickets.
And buy the T-shirts whenever you're ready. I'm going to work on them right fucking now. Everybody's got to get an Uncle Stevie shirt. It's the official. It's like buying Jesus's clothes. You know, like those the rags that supposedly have like Jesus's face imprinted on it that are like relics of Jesus. That's what these T-shirts are going to be. They're going to be like officially the garb of our salvation.
You lift it like this, and it just has his face underneath it.
Love it. Maybe would it just be crazy to fucking put Stephen Cohen on a crucifix?
I mean, that's crazy.
I'm gonna go take a bath in formaldehyde. I'll catch you guys. You gotta believe.
Right.
You gotta believe.
Gotta believe. Gotta believe. I don't know what the fuck to say to that one.